It's so weird that two of you and there's only one of me. It's like dominating here.
Yeah,
No, we're easy. We're easy.
Well, thank you so much for your time. And I have to say, I love the footage that you guys showed yesterday. It was amazing. And your book, I've got to say, I read it when I knew I was coming along. It was really, really good. But a lot of people do ask me, the question, is Abraham Lincoln really a vampire hunter? How many of those questions do you get?
A surprising number of questions like that. Yeah. Definitively, I can say no. He was not a vampire hunter. I don't know that there are any real immortal vampires out there. But what I know was that Abraham Lincoln was America's first superhero in a way, and that's all we're doing here is just telling his legend with a superhero movie.
Did you ever think of using it as instead of a book, a graphic novel? Did it ever cross your mind?
No, I mean that's not. I don't. I don't know how to draw. I don't know how to write graphic novels. It never crossed my mind. I just wanted to write this book. I had the idea to write the book, and never even intended it to be a film, frankly. And here we are.
Yeah.
So what was it like? When you had to write? You obviously wrote the book first, and then you have to write for the movie. Were there times where I should have included that in the book? Or did it improve the way you're writing now?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I think that the one, there was no central villain in the book like Adam. There's no thrilling climax in the book. But the only character I regret not having in the book that is in the film was Will.
Yeah, Will Johnson.
Will Johnson, played by Anthony Mackie. Because, in a book that deals with, some hard issues like slavery and the plight of African Americans in the United States, I didn't really give any of those characters a voice. I didn't really give any of them a way to fight back. And that's one of the things I'm really proud of the movie, is that we added Will to the story and gave the story that additional element, which now looking back on it, I can't really imagine it without Will.
Now, Ben, some questions for you. I feel like you're getting missed out here because
No,
I'm
that's
asking
fine.
Seth all the questions.
He's the interesting guy.
But I got to say, when you look at the picture behind you, you look very much like Liam Neeson, a younger version of him.
I'll take that as a high compliment. He's an attractive man.
Can you say this for me? Give me back my daughter.
In a kind of British accent.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, well, that's not too bad. I actually played a young Liam Neeson in the movie Kinsey. So another movie where I wore a big rubber nose.
Are you pressured? Are you pressured about this movie opening in the U.S.? Obviously, playing one of America's favorite presidents with the character. Are you a little bit nervous about that?
Nah, I'm really proud of it. I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised. And we've done the work. I mean, if we hadn't been able to make the movie we wanted, that'd be one thing. But I think we've made it a very exciting movie. It's in a lot of people's hands. Tim Burton, Timur, and Seth, and these are all people that I trust.
So you guys had a Russian director on board.
Yeah.
Why was that? Why didn't you guys have an American? Because obviously an American would know more about the history of Abraham Lincoln.
Well, maybe. They would know more about the legend of Abraham Lincoln. They might not know more about the man, and that's what's so important to us. I mean, and that was important to Ben's portrayal. I mean, you can talk about.
I think as Americans we fall into the trap of idolizing Lincoln. We place him on a pedestal, and therefore we rob him of his humanity. And something that Timur brings, along with his brilliant visual style, he brought fresh eyes to Lincoln, and he based what he knew about Lincoln on what he read about Lincoln and the research that he did. And there was no level of worship that went on. He learned who the man was. And therefore we got to recreate what we knew about him, as opposed to what we thought we knew about him.
What was the hardest part to play such an iconic character? What was the hardest part for you?
I don't know. It's being real, because it is so outlandish, this idea. Grounding this portrayal in something that is practical and realistic and natural was a challenge. But we did a lot of research, and there were a lot of people devoted to making this movie realistic and period accurate, because it really is a period drama with some vampires in it.
So you dropped 30 pounds, I read on the production notes for this show. What was your diet like? What did you have to eat?
Schoolgirls.
You ate schoolgirls?
Yeah, only schoolgirls.
Jeez.
The braised, broiled, boiled.
Seems like a terrible idea. But
What's that? Adam's Family quote. Would you like to buy some Girl Scout cookies? Are they made of real Girl
Yeah,
Scouts?
that's right. Ben Walker, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, they just wouldn't let me eat.
So what was the first thing you ate after, when shooting wrapped? What was the first
Well, we were in
thing?
New Orleans, and I went and got a muffaletta, and it made me so sick because I hadn't had any really substantial greasy food for months, so it really tore me up.
So are you continuing that diet or not really? It's like, oh, no, I can't be bothered with that anymore. Well,
Nah, I'm here in Sydney. We're going out every night and enjoying the town.
yeah. Actually, I'm from New Zealand. Have you got either of you guys been there?
No, I'd like to. Let's make a movie in New Zealand.
Please, let's do that.
All right.
I'll give
We'll see
Peter
you
Jackson
soon.
a call.
Yeah,
please do.
I'll give him a
Get
call
on
on
that.
speed dial. On speed dial. Seth, your book, the book you wrote, you went through a press tour during 2009, and you were inspired by Twilight and Abraham Lincoln.
That's right.
At the moment, the biggest book at the moment in the world, 50 Shades of Grey.
Right.
Ever thought of writing a book?
Yes. Yeah. I have a zombie idea for that called 50 Shades of Grey Matter.
What's in it?
Ooh.
Which is about a woman who has a zombie as a sex slave, and does terrible things to him. He chops his arm off, and he gets off on it and everything. But I will never write that book.
So have either of you seen the final product?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 Will fans of the book, because I'm a huge fan of the book, by the way, would they be happy with the final product?
I think so, but they should also know that there's huge differences. The book is much more about history and politics and everything like this. This is a different medium. It's a different form. A book might be a 20 or 30 hour investment. This is a 2-hour investment. So you have to condense things down, and plus you're working through another person's interpretation of the book. That's Timur's interpretation. So you got to know that you're going to get crazy action, you're going to get wild entertainment, and hopefully you will also get that core story about Lincoln, his real ideals, his real heroism as well.
And we stayed, and Timur was insistent that we stay really true to the tone of the book, which is the jokes in the title, and then we commit to it fully, and we write it out through the end.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you,
It's such
man.
an honor to meet you guys.
Thank you.
And I can't wait
Same.
for the picture to come out.
Pleasure.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.